Man City are back in Premier League action on Saturday when they welcome newly promoted Burnley to the Etihad Stadium. Now, it's worth noting that we're recording this before City's EFL Cup tie against Huddersfield on Wednesday. But in terms of the Premier League, City head into this one after drawing 1-1 at Arsenal last weekend. As for Burnley, they held Nottingham Forest to a 1-1 draw at Turf Moor, having previously suffered a narrow 1-0 defeat to champions Liverpool, in which they defended really well until they conceded that 95th minute penalty. Now, Burnley are an opponent that City have loved playing against over the years. City have not lost any of their last 18 meetings.
Lots of
City have
five
won
nils, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, City have won 17 of those 18 and they've scored, I think, a total of 58 goals in total, scoring three or more goals in 11 of those wins. So it's fair to say City do like playing against Burnley. And with that in mind, Stephen, can we go as far to say that this is sort of a banker home win for City? Is it got 3 points written all over it? Or have Burnley, in fact, shown sort of signs so far this season to suggest that they maybe could put up a bit more of a fight in this contest? How do you see it going?
Yeah, they will put up a fight. Of course they will do. But do I think they can stop Doku, Foden, Haaland? Like, no, I don't. I don't going to sound too piffy, but Burnley, they're going to dig their heels in and defend, rightfully so, and Kyle Walker will be up for it. I actually think they'll play against Kyle Walker. I think where he's at right now and with his ability and so on, I don't think he can handle an emotional game of football, Kyle Walker. And I think, he's not available. Is he? No, he joined him. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's
forgot it's
joined,
not
yeah.
alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought he was alone. I realised, yeah, but he'll have his return. He'll be up for it and he'll be, yeah, he'll be fist bumping all the players and so on. But I think, yeah, look, I think this is anything other than a convincing victory is a bit of a failure here for City. No, you take a 1-0, of course you would, you win. But I'm expecting, well, 1-0 can be convincing if you have a billion chances they don't go in. But I'm expecting City to be comfortable. And I'm expecting the players to see this as a chance to rack up a lot of goals and actually put up a bit of a statement down, so to make it, hopefully another win after the Huddersfield game to make it 4 wins out of 5 after the Huddersfield game. But I'm hoping that they look at this and they've had a rest certain key players. Rodri's had a rest, Vardiel, Diaz a bit of a rest. Donnarumma comes back into the team. Haaland, you presume, would have had a bit of a rest too. And they go at Burnley aggressively. It's a home game as well. It's been a long week, I know. It feels like a long time since we've had a home game, basically. I don't know it's only been Napoli, Arsenal, and Huddersfield, but it just feels the season's moving very quickly, and I think back in front of our fans, and I think the weather's going to be all right the weekend as well potentially. So that might, if it's a nice day, and it just could be a very feel good feeling around the Etihad if we get a convincing win against Burnley, because I think we need a convincing win as well. We've had some good wins. United was good. It was reasonably convincing. Napoli was good as well. But I think a Burnley, good old 4-0, whatever, and really double down and hammer home the improvements of the side, looking defensively solid. The football between Foden, Doku, Haaland looking really good again. Reinders hopefully built on a decent performance against Arsenal, and I think the team could be further buoyed by it, and I'm expecting City to be very up for the Burnley game and win comfortably.
Yeah, and in terms of the lineup, you expect City to name a strong side. They'll probably make changes against Huddersfield. And is there anyone in particular that you'd like to see start this game against Burnley?
I want to see the same back five. That's what I want to see
Yeah.
mainly. I did not expect. If you told me a year ago, if you told me a year ago City's back line because it's of Kusanov and O'Reilly, I would have said who for one. I'd never even heard of Kusanov a year ago. And Nico O'Reilly, I would have been like, right, okay. I heard of him as a young lad, but like as a left back. But the fact that they both look like very competent, solid defensive fullbacks, and one of them was a false nine a year and a half ago, and one of us never even heard of a year ago, alongside Vardy, Diaz, Donnarumma. God, imagine telling a City fan a year ago what our defense would be: Donnarumma, Kusanov, O'Reilly, Diaz, and Vardiel. Yeah, weird,
Yeah.
absolutely weird. But I want to see that again because it works, and I like consistency. And I don't want to. I never really want to see other people in the team if the ones that are on the pitch are doing it. Like some people seem to have their favorite players. They want to see. There'll be people start going, "I want Marmoush in the side." Like I don't really care who's in the side. Like I really genuinely just care if the players on the pitch or if it's working. Don't change it. And yeah, I want to see I want to see Doku again link up with Haaland and with Foden. Reinders, Rodri getting another 90 minutes. That'd be nice. So yeah, like more of the same as far as I'm concerned. I don't see any reason to, tweak it. There probably will be a change, and we don't know about if Kushner's injured yet, do we? Like we just don't know. That could be an enforced injury there. Um, By the way, shout out to Nunes when he came on. Like I was very nervous when he came on because obviously he's a big downgrade defensively on Kusanov. Doesn't mean he can't have a good game, but obviously he's nowhere near the defender that Kusanov is. But I thought he held his focus really well actually against Arsenal. So I presume if Kusanov's not available, Nunes will be more than enough against Burnley. So, but yeah, no big changes for me. Just crack on as you were and hopefully find a way to win.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that Kyle Walker, of course, coming back to play potentially against his former club. That matchup between him and Jeremy Doku, do you think this could well be a something on the cards for Walker in this one? How do you see him performing against his former club?
Well, I don't know. It depends if he's willing to have a little humility or not, which he's never really been his strongest attribute. I don't. Kyle Walker's a Manchester City legend, but I think it's fair to say he's been a bit of a muppet since he left City. Just yeah, I don't know. I think he let himself down last year. The way that he moved on, during the season because he said he wasn't starting enough football, which was nonsense. He started most of the games before he moved. He just wasn't playing very well, and the lack of awareness there. And I still feel that Kyle Walker hasn't taken any sort of responsibility for the reason why he left City. It was entirely on him. And if we recall correctly, many very good wingers gave him an awful torrid time at City last season. Matoma in particular just made him look stupid. Semenyo had a lot of joy and so on, and like lots of wingers did very well against Kyle Walker. Jeremy Doku is possibly the hardest winger in the world to face one on one. Like there is no one, regardless of what anyone thinks of Jeremy Doku, there's not a single person in the world that could deny that he's an absurd dribbler. He is. He's like freakishly talented one on one. Like if me or you faced him, I don't think I could touch him 1 out of 100 times. He's just stupid. Like so, I do not see how 1 on 1 Walker is going to have a good time against Doku because I'm sure Walker's still got a decent amount of pace, but he was never the strongest anyway with tricky feet. He was great against sprinters, but Matoma caused him a lot of trouble last year because his footwork was so good. I don't see how Doku, with the form of Doku's in as well, he was excellent against Arsenal, excellent against United, excellent against Napoli. Doku's in the form of his life right now, or form of Manchester City career at least. I think he's going to revel playing against Kyle Walker because he knows Kyle Walker as well. He knows how he plays, and he's a killer. Doku, he wants to beat his man, and I think Kyle Walker is going to try and big man it, try and beat all like chest out, and I'm Kyle Walker, and I think he might have a decent game. But he's not touching Doku. Doku's anywhere near his best because Doku is just far too quick for him.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting battle for sure. I mean, no guarantee that Doku does start that one, but I think he's likely, and yeah, it'd be
I
very
hope
interesting to
he
see,
does.
yeah, how that pans out. And then finally on this game, can I get a score prediction from you then for Man City's game against Burnley?
4-0. 4-0, I reckon. I think City are going to win convincingly. Erling Haaland hat trick, I reckon. And it's just Haaland just scores every game right now. He's ridiculous. Not enough's made of that. Like I know City fans talk about a lot, but Haaland just right now, just in this like we take it for granted. What a stupid
Yeah,
footballer! It's just so good. Like the quality of his finishes, the commitment, the leadership right now, and his overall play as well is just fantastic. But yeah, Haaland to bag at least two anyway. 4-0, and I'm going to go for Rodri to score his first goal of the season, and it'll be a good goal as well because it'll be Rodri. And yeah, Rodri will get man of the match actually. Everyone will be like, Rodri's back, and because he would get an assist and a goal. If this comes true, I'm a genius. It won't come
get
true.
somebody on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kyle Walker gives away a penalty by bringing down Doku, um, and then drinks a water bottle, stands there looking really frustrated at everyone, even though it's his fault. And Haaland scores the penalty.
lots of
There we go.
predictions there. I'm liking
There,
it.
and what else? What else? A more specific prediction. I'm gonna say, yeah, Phil Foden scores two.
Nice. Well, hopefully City do indeed get a convincing win
I tell
like
you
that.
what, if Haaland scores a penalty, brace from Haaland, Foden,
Yeah.
and Rodri score. I should that's what a few thousand to one. I reckon. I should have put money on that.